Hello, everyone. My name is Peter. I'm the founder and CEO of Wealth Caring, and welcome to today's Money Talks Silicon Valley. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Alisha Jensen, and we're going to be talking about saving money with cleaning with green products. Hi, Alisha. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
All right. Absolutely. So let me introduce you to Alisha. Alisha Jensen is the founder and CEO of Nest Essentials company. Their mission is empowering people in taking control of their health and wellness. And Alisha is a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur. It's a dear friend of mine. So thank you for being here with us. She and her company is dedicated to helping you achieve the toxin-free life that you deserve. So welcome to the show.
Thanks. This is exciting.
It really is. Yeah, above all, we want to have a great time. So
right, yeah.
Being here with me. So now, recently I watched a video of you online talking about green cleaning. I think it's one of the classes that you did where you introduced us to like the different recipes that you have with different products. And I was completely blown away by some of the things I actually seen in your video. So first of all, I didn't think many of these products or methodology even existed. For me, cleaning is just, with everyday products, and there's only one way to do it, and it sucks sometimes. So when I saw your video, it was really an eye-opening experience. So that's why I wanted to invite you to come here. So, my major takeaway from watching your video is that cleaning your house could not only be not only that there are healthier choices, there are more environmentally friendly choices, and you can actually save a lot of money in the process. So I'd love to explore those conversations with you today. Now, so to begin, I'd love to ask you, so what exactly is green cleaning?
Yeah, this is a great question. So I realized that as I started to uncover information, that the concept of green cleaning is really simple. It's removing toxic chemicals and synthetic fragrance from everyday cleaning products and actually utilizing the power of nature and what's already here that is very effective and very safe to actually clean, everything, your home, even your body, what you're putting on your body. So this idea of green cleaning is really just going back to nature and using nature as your force. That's very effective.
I see. Yeah, so using what nature already produced to maybe resolve some of the nature's, stuff that needs cleaning. So awesome, thank you. So how did you start in this business?
So let's see, about 6 years ago now, I was pregnant. And that's kind of where it all began. I was super interested in the idea of green cleaning because I became very aware of chemical products, and I had started researching them and hearing about them. I suddenly was concerned about what I was cleaning with. And, they're telling you have to put all these locks on all of your cabinets to make sure your kids don't swallow anything poisonous. And it just terrified me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want that to happen. So I was like, is there anything better that I could use? Right. So I started researching. I was invited to a doTERRA class, and I went there not really knowing what to expect. And it just totally blew me away, similar to your experience, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I started using the oils, and they were working, and they were very effective, and I felt very safe using them. And so it was really empowering. Like for the first time, I felt really empowered to do something that felt good, that I wasn't nervous about. And so then I started wanting to learn everything. I wanted to know as much as I possibly could about oils and about, advocating for safer products in general. And so eventually I ended up leaving my job. I left my 9-to-5. I left corporate America, if you will, to pursue doing this, sharing this information with people as a full-time business. And I heard a great thing the other day that I felt is so true. It's like, I wanted to use my passion to have a bigger purpose. And so that's pretty much how I ended up here where I am. It's been really amazing.
Well, how fortunate to actually be able to develop a business and a sustainable, a profitable business, doing something that you truly have a passion and love doing about, and at the same time, it benefits your family and environment and everything, right? The transition, I can tell you, that's the holy grail, right? I mean, the transition, from the corporate job and the safety and security, the paycheck and the insurance and everything, the benefits to now, fully entrepreneurial, being the CEO and a founder of your company, and taking on all of the responsibility, but creating a future the way exactly that you want the future. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. That's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Cool. So now let me ask you this. When you introduce people to cleaning with these green options, green products, what are some of the common objections or common what ifs, what abouts, what are common questions that people have that you hear?
Yeah, it's almost always the same. I would say there's three main objectives that I come across every single time, and not all of them, but these are the most common ones: is not having enough time, not having enough money, and not a belief in the product, like knowing that it actually works. So, the time aspect is really simple. And that's why I started doing what I'm doing. I wanted to do the research for people and provide tools and education so that you don't have to do that necessarily. If you like to, go ahead and do it. I advocate for that for sure. But I think the resources aren't available. So I'm creating those resources for people to make the time issue not so much of an issue. The money issue really comes down to just not understanding the product and how to use it. And so, we'll talk about that, I think, a little bit later. And the belief in the product itself is also another big thing. So there is so much research out there now that was not out there even 5 years ago. And that is really just about feeling like, well, we don't have enough evidence that this is safe and actually works. And now we do. There is an insane amount of evidence. If you're a researcher and you like to look at this stuff for yourself to have security in your own decisions, then I would highly suggest you look into PubMed. There are so many articles on there. You can search for specific essential oils. Like, for example, just go search oregano essential oil on PubMed. And you will find hundreds of research articles talking about the different ways and benefits of it. So, and this goes for most all of the products that will be, that I advocate for and talk about too.
How much it costs, how to use it, not having time to understand it. That's pretty common now. I can definitely relate to that. So, that Lisa and I live with 2 dogs and a cat. And, there are many days I feel like all that my days are just filled with nonstop cleaning, and we both, love cooking at home. So our kitchen is always busy. So there are many days where, there are many weekends we find ourselves just dedicating the whole day cleaning, and it never seems enough. So, and my experience had been so far, maybe like many of your clients, is that I've been using just whatever that I can, the common household products, I can find at Target or other stores. These are like bleach, for example, Windex or Tilex, and the soap, dish soap, and things like that. So now, what are some of the common issues associated with using some of these products instead of a green product?
Yeah. There's a lot, but just really to cover the basics, I think the things that really alarmed me the most when I started researching was, for one, for example, something like bleach. It's not even about effectiveness, right? Like, bleach is effective. We know that. But the challenge becomes, what are the side effects of using it? So using something like bleach, although it is killing, potentially bad bacteria, and we have evidence of that, it's actually killing all bacteria, including good bacteria. And when we do that consistently and chronically and almost like obsessively, we are actually hurting our own microbiome and our immune system for our own bodies, and it's actually weakening us. And so we're really seeing that right now. We're seeing a huge rise in lots of health concerns and lots of health issues that are stemming from, and research is pointing back to, microbiome imbalance or really depletion of our microbiome. And so that's really important for us to understand, that it does work, but it also harms us at the same time. So the key is finding something that is effective, but also not going to hurt the good stuff, the good guys that you do need. And so that's where green cleaning and essential oils come in. The other biggest thing that I look at is fragrance. The synthetic fragrance industry is massive. There are tens of thousands of chemicals that can be approved and used as fragrance. It doesn't even have to be an actual fragrance. It's completely man-made, and there's almost no research and safety studies being done on those products. So when you smell Windex, the smell, the scent of it could be 100 different chemicals blended together to create that smell. And we know that there's a lot of links to respiratory issues, hormonal imbalances, immune system depletion, even like brain health and things like that. So we're looking at how can we advocate for removal of those products, or at least advocating that we find better alternatives that we have safety studies on to show that they are okay to be breathing in. If we're breathing them in, we should know. We should know what's in them, right?
That's such a huge, I mean, even just knowing what's in it doesn't give me any comfort. I bring that stuff in. In fact, one of the things that I hate the most about cleaning my bathroom is that it's such a small and confined environment, and the smell from the bleach is just hurts. In fact, for the longest time I thought, if it hurts, then it works, right? Because what hurts, if it hurts my lungs, then obviously it's killing the germs. Right, and that's just the way it was, and I find myself just hated that whole process of having to clean a bathroom and then suffering through that. I feel like I need to put on a respirator, like with face shield, and so that that stuff doesn't get in my eyes and things like that. It's such a dramatic an experience that I just really resent. So I didn't, like I said, up until your class, I didn't even know that there was an alternative to it. So I can definitely relate to that. So now, what are some of your alternative or your most commonly used recipe that you can share with us?
It took me a long time to figure out how to make this simple, right? Like I wanted to simplify it. Like how can I recreate what I need in a simple way? And so I have found and tried and tested many different recipes until I found all of my favorites. And so I created just like a basic sheet of all of my most used recipes. So, think of things like all-purpose cleaner, things that could be used for your countertops and doorknobs and tables and high chairs and, all the things that you clean on a regular basis, right? So that would be like an all-purpose cleaner would be something you could easily remake at home using essential oils and a couple key ingredients. And then like a mold and mildew cleaner, which is what I would be using in the shower, and using in bathtubs and your bathroom sink and, places where you tend to get a lot of water buildup and heat and moisture, things like that. Also glass cleaner. I definitely make my own glass cleaner at this point. And, I use that on all the things, mirrors, windows, just like all the places that you would use Windex, right? Mm-hmm. And that's really simple. And the other thing that I would say is not even actually something that I make, but diffusing essential oils as an air purifier. So that's something that people don't think about. They think of it as scent. Oh, like it smells pretty, right? Like we're used to, for example, burning candles because candles smell pretty.
Incense,
or you're masking the smell. But diffusing essential oils, not only does it smell good, which is what we like, but it's also purifying and cleansing the air. So that's another way that you can just kind of use something so simple and so basic that doesn't take a lot of thought process to just do, and then reap the benefits, right? So you're boosting your immune system, you're supporting your immune system, you're helping your mood even, you're improving your microbiome by using these products and cleaning with them in an alternative way, and actually cleaning.
You really have me at the not requiring any thought process. Okay, right. So now are these oils or these products safe around children? What if I had young children at home?
That I started using them to begin with because I was looking for something that I could have faith and trust that it was safe. And I have seen that over and over and over again at this point. They're extremely safe, and especially when used properly. My favorite thing that I didn't even think about until somebody else pointed out to me actually is one of my favorite cleaner concentrate actually says on the label, if swallowed, drink water. So that's something that I think, as an advocate for safer products, we should be paying attention to. Like
that is not what it says on the bleach bottle, I tell you.
Are there any household cleaners that people are using that say don't contact poison control? I don't think there's any that I have found. So these are just things we're thinking of. We're cleaning with poison. So these are super, super safe. So safe that they're ingestible, basically. And that's, I think, really something to just food for thought, right?
What about for cats and dogs? I know the many things that are okay for human consumption is still, end up not, good for pets. What if we have pets?
Yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up. So that's a big thing that comes up in our industry is essential oils and pets. And there are lots of myths out there. So I would be cautious with where you find your information. But that being said, we do have to make sure that we're practicing safe usage around animals and small pets. So the one thing that I would warn people of is peppermint and tea tree tend to be the two oils that in high volume or topically applying to your animal would be a definite no. But if you're cleaning with them and your pet is in another room, or you're keeping it ventilated and opening up the windows when you're cleaning, you should be totally fine. Even using those oils shouldn't be an issue. I just think about it in a sense where if you were cleaning your bathroom with bleach and Tilex and Windex, would you have your pet locked in that room with you using those products? Absolutely not. So same thing here.
We put them upstairs in the gate.
Yeah. So this would be a much safer alternative for them, but still just practice with caution because they have such smaller systems, and the way that they, ingest them and what their body does with them, even when they're inhaling them, is very different than us. So just keep that in mind. But we actually have at doTERRA a pet advisory board panel that does safety studies and research on essential oils for animals.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of safety. Yeah, that would be a major concern for me because when we go to the park or something like when you introduce something new at the house, it's not Lisa and I worry about it most, right? It's it's the dogs or the cat. Okay, so I want to bring the conversation back to the money conversation, right? So from my experience, at least I have this impression that anything that you put GMO or non-toxic, earth-friendly, a green label of any kind, or organic, USDA or whatever, you can expect to pay more, right? And I think the consumers are really are discovering that these labels oftentimes means nothing. I mean, they don't signal a better products or healthier product. USDA organic, for example. I mean, there are so many documentaries being made that you can still use pesticides or growth, hormones and other things in these so-called organic products. Yet at the same time, companies use them as a marketing, an effort to have people pay more for their stuff. So my impression have been that anything that is green or earth-friendly, always costs more. So what's the cost situation for using some of these green cleaning product that you mentioned?
Yeah, so this is a huge thing that's happening right now in the industry, right? Just as like you mentioned, this is what you're describing is called greenwashing. And that is something that is running rampant in our country. Greenwashing is the idea of marketing and selling a product as green or natural so that you can target an audience who is willing to pay more for a product that they assume is better. And there's been several lawsuits actually towards some companies who are really, really heavy hitting with this greenwashing concept. That being said, what I love about these oils is that, for one, you're not going to find them in the grocery store with a bunch of labels and USDA organic and non-GMO. We don't have any of that labeling even on our bottles because that is not what matters to us. What matters to us is the purity and efficacy of the oil itself so that you can benefit from it, and those who actually got it into your hands can also benefit from it in a positive way. So we're bringing these oils to market, and then we're directly selling them to people so that you don't have to deal with all the marketing tactics, right? And then we're empowering you to learn how to make this stuff at home by yourself so that you're not having to go back to the store and put mileage on your car and spend gas and do all this and keep rebuying that same plastic bottle and then throwing it in the recycling over and over and over again, right? So let's just say, for average, I don't even know, how much is a bottle of Windex? Like $3, $4 probably?
Oh, easily.
No,
$2.99,
right?
$3.99.
Yeah, I mean, it's not expensive, right? But in our mind, that feels pretty cheap. So if, for example, if you were to take the cleaner concentrate that we have, it's $14 wholesale. That cleaner concentrate would make up to about 18 refills in the same glass spray bottle that you buy one time. So that in itself is less than $1 per bottle, per refill. Then let's say you wanted to like boost it. Let's say you wanted to make it into something specific, like a mold and mildew or a glass cleaner or whatever. A drop of oil averages from like 4 cents a drop to maybe maybe 40 cents a drop. And that's like on the way high end. And so you're adding maybe 10 drops, 20 drops to a bottle. So 40 cents for a full supply. So this is really where it comes down to empowering and educating people to understand that, first of all, making it at home is going to save you time because you didn't even have to go back to the store. And it's better for the environment. So you're feeling like you're doing your part, right, to reduce waste and reduce the amount of new product that we're consuming. And it definitely saves you money. I have found it has saved me several $100s a year in cleaning products to buy them in bulk up front, all of everything that I need. And then that lasts me maybe 6 months to a year of that same, being able to remake those same products. So it's really a great investment in terms of your health and the environment, and also saving you money. So it's like a win all the way around, to be honest with you.
So what I just did is I just did a rough calculation right here. You said that the cleaning blend is $14 a bottle, and it does about 18 refills, and that's about 78 cents per refill. And then on top of that, so that in itself is already a cleaning product, but then on top of that, you also add at your choice drops of other oils as well. And you said it's about 10 drops, about 4 to 8 cents a drop. So that's about 40 to 80 cents. So it adds up to about $1.20 to $1.60 a bottle. That is definitely cheaper than other stuff. And all of that is green.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
And it works. There's a lot of people who tell me that they don't want to do it because it doesn't work, and it's, and whatever. And quality does matter, you guys. If you are buying essential oils from the health food store, they probably aren't going to work as well as something that's actually very pure and very potent. So that's another thing that people don't necessarily understand and need education on, is the quality of the oils that they're buying too.
Yeah, I definitely, as a newbie in this one, and like up until your class, I never knew this whole industry existed. So now, if someone like me, if our viewer wants more information about the recipe that you have, or maybe a shopping list, or how-to guide, make your own, do you have any of those information that you can make available for us?
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I actually just launched my newest green cleaning guide. So you can, it's all on my website. I have tons of information on there. I have other articles on there and blog posts. And you can download my guide for free. It has a shopping list and all of my favorite recipes and some other information in there for you. So that's totally free. And you can check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely make that website information available. So are you going to do more of the same classes that I attended?
Yeah, it's actually was my most popular class that I've taught online. So obviously my audience wants it and needs it. So I will be continuing to teach that class probably once a month, as long as there's still interest in it. So I actually have one coming up this Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So that's just my green cleaning class. And I'll dive a little bit deeper into some of what we talked about today, and more specifics into recipes and things like that in that class as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alisha. Thank you for spending the time with me again this morning. I've definitely learned a lot even after the class. So
yeah, awesome.
So I really appreciate your taking the time this morning to spend it with us and help educating us on what green cleaning is, and how it could actually save us money.
Yeah,
so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And that, everyone, is this episode of Money Talks Silicon Valley. Thanks for being with us. See you all next time.